1, 2, 3,
Get your 8 seconds.
4, 5.
It's gonna be on YouTube. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi, my name is Michelle Rosado, and I'm gonna give a persuasive speech on America confirming for other nations. In 2000, they decided that if they took immigrant children who did not speak English, and we went ahead and we provided education for them to learn English, that it would actually take the second language out of their home and they would start speaking more English than other languages, but this has not happened. Instead, these children now, they're bilingual. They know both English and Spanish fluently. I'm all for immigrants coming to this country, and especially us educating their children and to use English, which is our national language. However, I have a problem with the fact that Americans are now being forced to conform for other nations. While we take children into our school system and we teach them English, and they go back home and they teach their parents English also, which is not a problem because English is our nation. Everybody in America should know the language if they choose to, especially children. They shouldn't be robbed of knowing our national language. But at the same time, these children are growing up to be bilingual, to know multi-languages, while our children, who are natives to America, only know one language, which is English. And now, most companies, they only want to hire people who are bilingual because, of course, that stretches out to a broader range of people who are going to invest in their products and who they can make money off of. But at the same time, we're helping other nationalities to be bilingual. Our children are only knowing one language. So we're kind of being forced to conform to other nations because if our children aren't bilingual, like the other children who we're teaching English to, all the jobs out there that are available are directed more towards them than our own children, and I think that this is wrong. I'm all for the migration of other people to our country, and in regards to the children, us spending more on education to teach them English, I see nothing wrong with this. But now we're being forced, for our children to make a decision for them. Either A, they learn a second language so that they can have the same foothold in society as the bilingual group, in getting jobs and being able to communicate out there and to excel in life, or to make the choice for them to only know a single language and their scope be lessened to what they can actually do and accomplish, which isn't based on grades, but on what language that they know, which I think is very unfair. I think that it's very unfair that a lot of companies won't even hire individuals unless they're bilingual. I think that it's a catch-22 situation. Either we ignore the children that come to this country who do not know English and we refuse to help them learn English, which is really messing with their future. We're supposed to be the land of the free and opportunity, but then we're not helping children who didn't make the choice to come to this country but are in this country. We're making a choice, well, no, we're not going to pay for you to learn our native language. It's kind of excluding them. And we don't want to do that because as a nation we want everybody to excel. But at the same time, by teaching a second language to a group that already knows a language, we're robbing our children of their future. So we're kind of being forced to conform. Either teach our children a second language so that they can be bilingual too, so regardless of their grades or anything, they have the same opportunities as the bilingual group that's leaving the school system, or we hold them back and only let them know the language that they should only really be required to know, which is English. And then at the same time, it's also a catch-22 situation because why should a child's grades in school, or if they graduate or go on to the next grade, be dictated over a language that isn't our own? It's not fair for a child to do good in every single subject, but fail to grasp a second language and be at fault for that. Get lower grades in school, get held back because they didn't know a language that wasn't their own. So I feel like as Americans, we're being forced to conform for other nations. I don't think that we should have to conform at all. I'm all for helping the other person, but now not 15, but about 13 years since they decided to introduce ESL, English as a Second Language, in the school for other people coming down here. We now, we're at a crossroads where we're either holding our children behind, or it should be mandatory that they learn a second language, which is not fair to them at all. And it goes into a whole lot of different aspects. Even McDonald's, they prefer to hire people who are bilingual so they can sell their burgers to other nationality groups. Well, that's not fair for Americans, especially older Americans, because it's easier to learn a second language at a younger age. So if we really want our children to have the same opportunities that are out there for bilingual children, we have to enforce this in grade school when their brains are like sponges and they can actually learn a second language, because it'd be easier for the kindergarten through fifth graders to learn a second language than it will the high school students, because their brains, you know, are still absorbing or learning. And I feel like we're being forced to conform for other nations, and I do not feel like that is fair for us as Americans. And I say it's a catch-22, because either we're the bad guy and you come to our country and pretty much sink or swim, or we help you out and then we hurt ourselves at the same time. So don't think that it's fair that we're put in a situation where we feel like we need to conform for other nations and put our own children on the back burner. Good enough? I didn't do that many ums. Thank you guys so much. You did. I love you.